Welcome to SSC JEE aspirants. In last class we are explained 10 questions. In this session I am going to explain another 10 questions. Let's start our session. The first question is, which of the following statement is true about the KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law? The first option, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is infinite. Option B, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is negative. Option C, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is 1. Option D, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is equal to the 0. If we see in any circuit, the algebraic sum of all the voltage in a circuit is equal to the 0. That is the condition for Kirchhoff voltage law. So that option D is the correct answer. If you take any test charge here, if you want to shift the charge from here to here, the amount of energy will be dissipated, and the same charge will be shifted from here to here, the amount of energy will be observed. So the net voltage in this circuit is equal to the 0. The amount of energy dissipated is equal to the amount of energy will be observed. This is called Kirchhoff voltage law. Next, move on. Which of the following is the correct statement for superposition theorem? Option A, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is 0. Option 2, the algebraic sum of all the voltages around any closed path is equal to 1. Option C, the overall current in any part of linear circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of current produced by each source separately. So this is the correct answer, because in case of superposition theorem, if the circuit has two voltage sources, for example this is the circuit, the current flowing in any circuit is equal to the voltage source is one is active in condition and another in short circuit condition. So the net current flowing in the circuit will be equal to the voltage source which is in active condition 1 and another is short circuited. So our option C, the overall current in any part of linear circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of current produced by each source separately. So option C is the correct answer. Move on to next question. Which of the following Which one of the expression satisfies the condition of maximum power transfer theorem? The condition for maximum power transfer theorem is load impedance must be equal to the source impedance. In this condition, the maximum power will be dissipated at the load resistance. For example, this is the source impedance, and this is the load impedance. This is the voltage source. So the condition for ZL must be equal to the ZS to dissipating maximum power. So that is, the condition is ZL is equal to the ZS. Option A is the correct answer. Next, move on to next question. Determine the value of current drawn from the voltage source for electrical circuit given below. In this circuit, we have to find out the value of current flowing through this given circuit. So we should find out the equivalent resistance first, and voltage is already given. So we have to find out the current flowing through the circuit. So R equivalent is, these two resistors are in parallel, so the equivalent resistance for this circuit is 10 ohms, and this is connected to 20 ohms, and this is 20 ohms. This is the voltage source 50 volts, and next these two are in parallel. These two are parallel. So the equivalent resistance of these two parallel this circuit is 10 ohms. So R equivalent is equal to 10 plus 10. These two are in series, 20 ohms. So we have to find out I is equal to V by R. Current voltage is 50 by 20. So that is equal to 2.5 amps. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. Determine the value of current flows through 9 ohms resistor when voltage is 36 ohms. We have to find out the value of current. I is equal to V by R. V is equal to 36 by R is equal to 9 ohms. That is equal to 4 amps. 4. Option C is the correct answer. Move on to next question. Determine the resistance for a circuit when maximum power transfer from source of 80 volts to the load is 80 watts. We have to find out the load resistance for a given maximum power. We know the condition for maximum power transfer theorem. For example, this is the source resistance, this is the load resistance, this is the voltage. So the R equivalent is equal to RS plus RL. We know the condition, RL is equal to RS. So R equivalent is equal to 2 into RL. If you substitute RS is equal to RL, RL plus RL, 2RL. R equivalent is equal to 2RL. So power dissipation is equal to V square by R. R is nothing but R equivalent 2RL. We know the value of voltage and power. We have to find out the resistance. This is called load resistance. So RL is equal to V square by 2 into P. V is equal to 80 volts. 80 into 80 by 2 into power is 80. 80 get cancelled. 2 ones are 240. So RL is equal to 40 ohms. Option A is the correct answer. Move on to next question. Find Norton equivalent resistance. We have to find the Norton equivalent resistance Rn between the A and B terminals. The equivalent resistance in this particular circuit is 3 into these two are in parallel. So R equivalent is 3 into 3 by 3 plus 3. That is equal to 1.5 ohms. This is 3 ohms, 1.5 ohms. This is 3 ohms. This is 3 ohms. The voltage should be short circuited while finding the Norton equivalent resistance. Here the 1.5 ohms and 3 ohms are in series. The value of this equivalent resistance is 4.5 ohms. 4.5 ohms. And this is 3 ohms. This is 3 ohms. This is short circuited. So Rn. 4.5 ohms and 3 ohms, those are in parallel. So the equivalent resistance is 4.5 into 3 by 4.5 plus 3. We get here 1.8 ohms, and this 1.8 ohms in series, and next circuit is 1.8 and in series with 3 ohms. 3 plus 1.8, 4.8. So Rn is equal to Norton equivalent resistance is equal to 4.8 ohms. So option B is the correct answer. Move on to next question. Find Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Here these 3 ohms resistance are in parallel and the equivalent resistance is 1 ohm. Here 1 ohm. These two voltage sources are short circuited while finding the Thevenin equivalent resistance. So 1 ohm and 1 ohm, those are in parallel. So the R equivalent is 0.5 ohms. Option B is the correct answer. 19th question. Which of the following is the dimensional formula for mutual inductance? First of all, we know the energy stored in an inductor. Energy stored in inductor is half Li square. From this expression, we find the inductance dimensional formula. Here, energy is nothing but work done. Work done is equal to half into Li square. Work done is equal to the force into displacement, that is equal to, here this is a constant, for L into I square. Force is equal to mass into acceleration into displacement indicates with L is equal to inductor L into I denoted by A and I square. We have to find out the L, this L, that is equal to M1, acceleration is equal to L1 T minus 2 by A, it was the A square, that is equal to M1 L1 T minus 2 A minus 2. So M1 L1 here another L is there, this L, acceleration is equal to L1 T minus 2, here L is there, so that is equal to M1 L2 T minus 2 A minus 2, M1 L2 T minus 2 A minus 2. So this is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. And move on to next question. Which of the following is the correct expression for hysteresis losses occurring in a material? This is the direct formula for hysteresis losses. Hysteresis loss is equal to the efficiency mu into B maximum 1.6 into frequency into voltage. So option C is the correct answer. So thank you for watching.